My first guest is in the studio. I shall give you a little taste of him right now. Sad. I got a feeling we just kind of embarrassed him a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Gene Chandler. Hi, sir.
Absolutely.
I found this man at a party the Sunday before. Everybody was boogieing on down and grooving to La Belle.
Right.
And there he was in the middle of the whole thing. And somebody said to me, it was Ronald Luxembourg from Epic Records in the States.
Right,
and he said, Greg, this is Gene. I said, hi. That was at the theater.
Hello there.
Right. We didn't say very much. And then back at the reception,
Right.
I think it was Danny Sims said,
Danny
Greg,
Sims,
right,
yeah.
this is Gene. And I had another drink, and I walked when I came running back, and I said, Gene, what's your surname? He said, just Gene. I said, come on, be straight with me. What's your name? He said, Gene Chandler. So I got very embarrassed and went and played some records. And I conned him into coming here. What? You're on vacation. You're just hanging around London, looking at the scenery and everything else?
Yeah, I just recently joined the biggest, if not one of the biggest, organizations in America, NAMJAC, Danny Sims, and which, is Johnny Nash. By the way, while I'm saying this, Johnny Nash has a record coming out in April, 1st of April. Tears on My Pillow.
He's plugging.
Absolutely. And I came over to sort of look out things and check into the musicians and see what have you. And I'm coming back, I imagine, in about 3 weeks to possibly record over here. I just recently signed with CBS International. And I'm going to start recording again. I've been in business for the last 2 or 3 years. And I sort of came off the road. I made a few records, which my friend James here have been able to keep up with, and Groovy Situation and a few other things. But I'm going to become 100% active in the business now.
What were you doing in business? What kind of business did you have?
Well, I have some nursing homes back in St. Louis, and I have my publishing company in Chicago, which recently moved to New York, and a few other
nursing homes. Can you do anything about this punch I got on me?
No, not unless you're a senior citizen.
Now, that Duke of Earl record, how long ago did you cut that record?
Which means that I will be able to do something for you.
I deliberately did not pursue that statement. He's trying to rub me up the wrong way, but it ain't going to work, right? I deliberately kept off that conversation, you brought it back at me.
Well, I'm sure when you step out and everybody see you, they'll know the difference.
I'm only 15 years old.
Fantastic, I can tell. Right?
Been working hard, right?
Right.
How long ago did you cut Duke of Earl?
Oh, that was back in 1961, November of 61, and I think it was January of 62. It was the #1 record in the country. Yeah.
Was that your first hit record?
The first big record. We had a record out called Night Owl. I was with the Duquesnes at that time. That was out.
How does it feel to have your first big smackaroo across-the-board hit?
Well, it's a strange... In a way, I wish it hadn't happened with the first record, with me as a single, because I was with the group before that, because things happen so fast. When you get a hit record, and all of a sudden now you're in the entertainment business for real, because you're traveling around the country, and it was moving me so fast that I didn't realize what a million seller was until later on when I didn't get another one for a couple of records. But it was fantastic. It's really great.
There's a record that you had out, you talked about it just now, Groovy Situation. It was big in the States, and I came here during that period of time, and nobody was playing the song. And I took it around to an awful lot of my friends, and I said, what do you think about this? And they say, hey, kind of nice. We wrote request after request to the radio station that was going at that time, Radio 5 1/2 or something like that, and nobody never got a play. Don't ask me why. What do you think of that record yourself personally?
Well, actually, I wasn't working during that time. I was really off the road. I was just recording because, I was producing, too. I produced Backfill in Motion,
Melontown, good record.
Right, and Got to Get Over the Hump, Semtech and Wallace, and a few other things with some other companies. And actually, Groovy was a strange thing because it was kind of different kind of singing for me. I was singing low rather than up, and it was like an up-tempo thing, But I think it was very important in my career and heading toward my future.
Is it one of the records you put on when you were sitting on down, reminiscing and looking back and looking forward? Is it one of the records that, when everybody's trying to do, whenever you get in a situation, you're kind of looking back, try and go forward, in other words, and you try to bridge that gap and you put something on that you did before? Is that one of the records that slips in there?
You said it so well, I think I'll leave it at that, yes.
Gene Chandler's Groovy Situation. Can you still get notes like that last one there?
Oh, of course. Of course. I have to.
I put him on the line. That's because he put me on the line just now when I was asked him to expluciate. Is that the right word, James? You're English.
Well, you've said it now.
I asked him to expluciate on the question I asked him. He said, left it to me. I sat here looking at him as though I was insane. Well, I am anyway. Groovy Situation. There's a strange thing about that record that always gets me. Whoa. Who produced that record?
I did.
And why did you put that in there?
It just seemed like it was appropriate because the tune seemed like a light tune to me. I was used to doing heavier things, and it was sort of light and cute, and it seemed like to put something, like sort of animated in it. Da dee da dee da ba da 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 da. That's
a groovy situation. Kids always have groovy situations.
It was kind of cute, I thought it fit.
Right, playground type of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, do you spend lots of time in the summer kind of just walking and looking at the kids in the playgrounds?
No, I play a lot of tennis, and I ride my bike, and a lot of exercise.
So you're very selfish. You don't like looking at people. You like doing it yourself.
Well, I do it with people, too, sometimes.
Oh, good. That's the only way to do it. You get very tired by yourself.
Absolutely.
You want to talk about it? What's your birth sign?
Cancer.
Here we go.
I don't pay much attention to signs, though, but that's it.
You don't pay much attention to signs?
No, I just pay attention to people.
You're an entertainer, you're black, you're American, you don't pay much... What's the matter with you?
I don't know. I've been doing pretty well without paying attention to them, so I thought I'd stay that way.
You've been working... How long now since you've been recording?
Oh, let me see. 60, 50... 58, 59, 60, 1961, the earlier part, when I cut The Girl is a Devil with the Duquets on the Nat label, and then we came back with Night Owl. And then I split from the group because we cut Duke of Earl in the same session, and VJ bought the Duke, and the other company had the Night Owl. They should have took the Duke. So they had to have somebody to go with it, so I split up from the group, and another fellow took my place, and I decided to be a single.
Was it difficult being the man in the middle?
Well, it was a situation where Night Owl was moving, and the Duke hadn't been released yet, and it was a decision for me to make because this was our first big record, Night Owl, and to leave the group at that point without something going for me was really a decision.
Why did you do that? Is it because you believed in the Duke?
Well, I wanted to be a single, but when you're with groups, it's a lot of hassle. A lot of hassles, rehearsals, and people being on time and doing their part and what have you. And I'm the type of person, I guess I've always been sort of business, and I like for things to be done right,
And the situations where you got the bass man saying, man, my bass playing is better than yours singing.
Well, there's a rehearsal, and there's 5 people in the group, and only 3 shows up, and 2 hours later, here come the other, and it's time for us to leave, and it's just, but by myself, then I control my own thing,
Right.
And now that I'm with Namjack, Daddy Sims, and Carolyn Sims, Mrs. Sims, I think everything is going to be all right.
I'm going to take $25 off you every time you plug up, right?
Fantastic. You
worked with an awful lot of well-known people. For instance, Curtis Mayfield. You got a song. You did a song he wrote, right?
Curtis was a spark for me. I went on the road with the Duke, and they didn't think I could sing anything that was soulful, because the Duke of Earl was like a novelty, along with being a hit novelty. And it took them, I would imagine, about 3 records before they released Rainbow. And then they didn't release Rainbow. They released a song called You Threw a Lucky Punch, the answer to Mary Wells thing, Lucky Punch.
Right, I know that.
And around the country, I kept telling all the jocks I knew to play the other side, Rainbow. I talked to the company and they put it on the other side, then I talked to all the jocks into playing that side, and it broke in the South and in New Jersey, and that was it. And Rainbow was aside from that point. I love the song.
That happened.
Then I went and cut it live, and I had added something onto it, which is called Rainbow 65 Part 2, where I reach out and...
In what way did Curtis Mayfield zap you and made you kind of...
Well, we were sitting around the dressing room, and Curtis was playing these different tunes, and he was playing Rainbow. And he said, oh, you can't do that. That's not your thing. And I stood back with Curtis, and I said to him, no, Curtis, you got to let me have this tune. And he conceded, and from that point, we had a marriage. It was Rainbow, What Now, Just Be True, Nothing Can Stop Me. But Rainbow is like a national anthem for me. If I did a show, which never happened, but if I did a show, and everything failed, whenever I hit Rainbow, the whole show is over with. it's like Jerry Butler's Precious Love to him.
Right.
Right, that's what Rainbow is to me.
Well, we got to play this one now for you. It's called Just Your Love. Now,
Ladies and gentlemen, start time at the Regal.